What are the trends in the coaching industry in 2023?
Hi, I'm Ruth and I'm passionate about helping people live the life that they want to live on their terms. I talk about coaching, positive psychology, neuroscience, and business growth, because if you want to live a fulfilling life, then you want to be going from a 0 to a +5 in positive psychology, rather than focusing on bringing you up to a 0.
So we know that the coaching industry is the second fastest growing industry in the world, and it's not looking like it's going to slow down. But there are some things that I'm seeing, and there are definitely some trends when you're looking at data from, for example, the International Coaching Federation survey, that mean that the industry is going to be changing. And that's really normal because it's gone through a period of rapid growth. It's now heading to more maturity in markets like the US, and it's still growing rapidly in places like the UK and Europe, and obviously it's more of a foundation stage at other places in the world. So first of all, it's understanding, in terms of where you're based and your clients are based, the level of maturity of the market. The industry in the US is different to the industry in the UK, is different to the industry in Mexico, because there are differing variants of maturity. And so the first thing that I'm going to say as a trend is there is a lot of growth in the non-English speaking world in coaching, particularly Mexico, South America. So Spanish speaking coaches, Spanish speaking providers have got a big opportunity, because when you're looking at the growth curve, those are the places that are really taking off, that are going to have an even more rapid growth. So if you're a Spanish speaker, or if you're running a coaching business and looking to expand, think about who you can get on your team who can deliver in Spanish. Equally, you've also got some other emerging markets in West Africa where French is going to be a language that is needing to be spoken. So thinking about those different languages, and I would say the one that I think is going to have the most growth in 2023 is those Spanish, South American and Central American countries. Mexico is the 16th biggest economy in the world, so that is a great place to start. If you do have people as well who speak Portuguese, you've obviously got the Brazilian market as well, and that is a significantly big economy. I think that's the 12th biggest economy in the world. I might not be 100% on that, but thinking about those other markets. Equally within the US, we know there's a large percentage of the population who speak Spanish and who may have a preference to being coached in Spanish rather than English. So that's my first trend. Look at different markets. Look at emerging markets. Even if you're coaching in English, it doesn't have to be limited to the US and the UK and South Africa. There are people who speak English in many, many different countries. So think about that. Think about how that might work with your time zone. Think about how you might reach those people. I know that we've had people train with us who will become the first accredited coaches in their country, which is incredibly exciting, and you can start to see the opportunities. The second thing is the need for training and accreditation. So the PricewaterhouseCoopers and the ICF do surveys together. And in one of the most recent surveys, they found that over 80% of people look for their coaches being accredited. And I think that this is only going to increase. We know that corporates look for training and accreditation, and they're looking for specific accreditation bodies. The International Coaching Federation, the EMCC, European Mentoring and Coaching not sure what the C stands for, and the Association of Coaching. But we know that the gold standard is the ICF, and that is internationally. So having and investing in robust training and accreditation means that you have more options as a coach. It means that you can work with corporates and organisations and individuals. And the great thing about accreditation is it's on your training and your experience. So when people know that you're accredited, they know that you've got at least 100 hours for the International Coaching Federation and you've done a depth of training, and that sets you apart. So it's going to become more of a basic standard, and I think that's only a good thing. Of course, there's going to be coaches who have been incredibly successful without that. There's always unicorns, but if you're new or you're really thinking about solidifying in the industry, I don't think that you can go wrong with having robust training and accreditation. It's a baseline, and it really says to your clients, I care about what I'm doing. The third thing that I'm seeing in the industry is a change from, especially in corporates, from only leaders having coaching. I think that people are starting to see that actually the impact of coaching is far-reaching. So they're offering it to more people, and they're also offering it to more groups. They're understanding, okay, maybe we have an issue in retaining our senior women, especially those who are going through the menopause and the perimenopause. How can we support them with a coaching program? Maybe we're finding that our retention of millennials is actually quite not very good. What can we do to support them? Maybe we're finding that people from particular minority groups are leaving or they're not performing. How can we support them with coaching? So there's a lot more. Coaching is becoming more mainstream in organisations. And I know that people from a much wider range of organisations are having coaching paid for them by their employer. So that is a massive change. It's kind of like the executive coaching is finally infiltrating down, and that's only a good thing for people. I believe that everyone can have a coach. The fourth thing is, which really links to that, this growth of these kind of coach ed platforms, things like BetterUp. So there is going to be more of these platforms. And what we're seeing is that these are predominantly being used for organisations at that kind of lower level. So for those younger employees, younger in age, but also younger in tenure, you're seeing this growth of these apps, and this is only going to become bigger. And that's an opportunity for coaches because you can register and be on these apps if you're accredited, and you can get clients. Now, you're not going to be paid as much as if you are marketing yourself, but it can be part of what you offer. And again, it can be a great way to gain experience and really perfect your art of coaching. So we've got different markets. We've got the growth of training and accreditation. We've got organisations using coaching at different levels. We've got the apps. And the fifth thing that I'm going to say is around coaching as a leadership skill. So more and more in demand is leaders who are able to coach. And I think that we're going to be seeing this becoming a skill that people demand of leaders. So having the right training that goes beyond the grow model, that looks at actually understanding your team on that deeper level. Everybody can benefit from great coaching. Everybody can benefit from those listening skills, which really help people to be heard, to perform, to feel better. And my final one, if we're looking at sectors where I see a growth in coaching, coaching for well-being. The last 3 years in the global economy, it's been a little bit of a rough ride, to put it mildly. And well-being is becoming even more central. People are leaving roles because of burnout. So actually, coaching for well-being is coaching for performance. So there's a big increase about coaching for well-being. Lots and lots of organizations and individuals are realizing they need to prioritize their well-being. The second thing that I'm seeing is, using coaching as part of that D&I, making sure that you are supporting all of your people. If you're in a team environment or an organizational environment, making sure that everybody has a voice and everybody's listened to. And then we're looking at things like coaching for sustainability and really thinking about that environmental impact and how as coaches we can do good rather than doing harm. And I'd say that is the last thing that I'm going to leave you with. Coaching is an incredibly powerful intervention, and I think that the growth of quality coaching can only be a good thing globally and can only be a good thing personally. But I think the challenge that we have going into 2023 is, how do we ensure that coaching does good and doesn't do harm? And part of that is looking at that bigger impact. How can we build sustainable coaching businesses and training businesses that have inclusivity, ethics, and environmental sustainability at the heart? And that's definitely what we're focusing on at Optimus this year.
Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd like you to like and subscribe. And remember to keep abreast of all of our new videos. Just ring that bell and you'll be notified when any new ones come out. And we'd love to hear feedback from you. So if you'd like to post beneath your biggest takeaway, and equally anything that you'd like to hear me talk about, we're always open to feedback.